Yeah, g'day guys, welcome back to another episode of Luke's Fishin Mission. Thank you for tuning in today. I've come out and doing a little bit of crabbing again today. The fishing options are rubbish today. We got massive tides. We got 6.2 metre high down to 0.7 metre low, so 5.5 metres of run, which is what I actually like for crabbing. Really big tides. You just got to be careful you don't lose your pots, obviously, tie them up. We've got a lot of rain. We've had a lot of rain, and it's windy as. It's blowing 25 knots plus today. So I've come in to sink the pots again. I'm going to put them in overnight today. I'm not going to worry about moving them today. I'm just going to sink them, tie them up, come and check them again tomorrow. I've got some quality baits. I've really made sure that I've filled up my crab pots really chock-a-block with bait, because it's a big tide, so that flow will push all that scent a long way. That's the reason why I've done that. Plus it's going to be in for 24 hours, so you need a lot of bait. The tide's really started to rip now. So I'm going to tie it up to this mangrove here. I've got some quality baits in here. I've got mac tuna, trevally, bit of mullet, bit of whiting. These are all fantastic baits. And then I've also got the reef fish frames as well. So plenty of good bait that's going to put out a really good scent in the water. All right, I'll pull up here, grab my first float, wherever that is. I'll grab this one. Got to get in there nice and tie it to a real solid branch. Now you don't want to throw your pot too far out from the main too far out from the bank, because the main flow will just pick it up today. Make sure you always throw it the right way. So the two funnels are facing that way, one funnel's facing that way, one funnel's facing that way with the flow. We've had a hell of a lot of rain. The crabs don't overly like the fresh water, so they move around a lot, trying to find that saltier water. When they're moving around a lot, they're expending energy. It's hard work, so they're hungry, they're eating. They're using a lot of energy, trying to find the best water they can. So after rain is a fantastic time for doing crabbing. And like I said, not many options today with the wind that we have, 25 knots and huge tides. 6.2 metres down to 0.7 metre low, so 5.5 metres of run. You can see my crab pot there, it is chock-a-block full of bait. There's mullet, there's a bit of trevally, there's mac tuna. I'm not sure if I mentioned that earlier, but mac tuna I find to be the absolute best bait you can get. Really oily, really bloody. And that's why it's such a fantastic bait on the reef as well, you know, for bottom fishing baits. Same way why it's reason for good crab bait as well, that oily and bloody in the water puts out the scent a long way. And there's mullet in there, there's all sorts of good goodies in there, and chock-a-block full of bait. Being chock-a-block's a good thing as well, especially in these big tides. Gives the pot a little bit more weight. So I'll just cruise in upstream against the flow so I can control my speed coming in. If you're coming in with the flow, as mentioned, you can't control it very well. So I'm coming in here. I can grab the tree now. Grab my pot, tie up here. Scratching my boat a little bit. Oh well, you get that when you go crabbing, eh? Oh, don't want to scratch that though. I do want it to scratch my active target, so that's for sure. Don't want that. It's fine. All right, nice and close to the bank. Plenty of rope. I've got about 8 to 10 meters of rope there. Definitely water is brown. We're coming into winter too, so April, May, June, July, I actually find to be the best for crabbing. People don't like it. People say they're not full. I find them to be very full, and lots of good crabbing around April, May, June, July in our winter. A lot of people like to crab the summer, but I like the winter. So we're coming into my prime time, and usually around Anzac Day onwards is usually the marking for me of the best time of year for crabbing, from Anzac Day for the next 3 or 4 months after that. This is where I got my crab last time. The big crab I got last one in the last video. See if I can get another one here today. All right, knock the motor out of gear, come in against the flow, coming in a bit hot. Bit of scratching on the boat. Let's get to this tree so I can tie around this stump, nice and solid. Actually, I like the baits in this one more, so I'll put my best pots, best baits in the best spots. Okay, feed the rope out so you know there's no tangles in it. All right, that's done. Go run my last pot now, see if I can get it to where I want it. Tide might be a little bit high for me to get where I want it. Might just have to put it in some other random spot right now. Best thing about this stage is the tide. You can cruise up the creek without worry about hitting any rocks or trees too much. Everything's underwater. When it's lower, you've got to watch those things, obviously. Alright, it's getting high, so I need to try and get it in here. Come in and grab the tree before I hit the motors or the active target. Like that. Take the heat off. It's a nice little drain through here, nice little gully. Like I said in the last one, I like the more inconspicuous sites rather than the main creek mouths. Got plenty of rope here. Oh, damn, it looks like there's another pot there. I didn't see the black rope. Just looked like there's another crab pot right there with the black rope. So I'm going to do the right thing and move my pot, not touch his pot. See the black rope there? Yeah, that's what happens when you got no tag on it and you just got a rope directly to a tree. You're supposed to have a float or at least a tag. Anyway, I'll just move mine out of the way and find a new spot for mine. Yeah, someone else is there with the black rope. Not going to touch his pot. It's illegal to interfere with anyone else's pots. Oh. It's not a good practice at all. Yeah, you can see the black rope there now. No float though, no tag. You're meant to have at least a tag, I believe, with your name and address on it above the waterline. Even if it's not a float, that's okay, you still have a tag, but there's no tag, it's just a rope tied to a tree. Hopefully that's enough to hold the pot in the flow when it picks up. I think it will be. But I'm just going to drop it pretty much straight down in front of me. And try not to drop it on a tree. Righto guys, that's done. Just ran the 4 pots. I'll check them in the morning. I'll give them 24 hours. Give them 3 or 4 tides. Big tides, like I said, 6.2. Big tides, 6.2 meters down to 0.7. Lots of rain and windy today, so fishing's gone out the window. Run the crab pot, see how we go. Perfect conditions for crab. Guys, it's pissing down rain. It's absolutely pouring. I hope the footage is okay. There's not too many raindrops on it, but it's coming in flat out. It's literally 24 hours later. I've come back to check my pots. As I said, we've had a lot of rain. It's still raining. Big tide, so I'm just happy to see the pot's still here. Grab the tree. Right. I hope there's some big crabs in here. Put the float rope back in there so it keeps tidy. Now I'll have a look at some of these crabs. That is a rusty buck, but I don't think it's too big. See the rustiness in it? It's chock-a-block. Look at the nippers, how dark brown they are compared to, say, that one. That's a Jenny, but look at the colour difference. See what I mean? All right. Check a couple of these. I'm gonna check this guy here. He's probably the closest one, but I think he's still gonna be too small. This is a buck. Yeah, well short, well short. You come here. Here's that chocolate one. Here's the rusty. Unfortunately, too small as well. Look at that colour difference. You can see that chocolate colour. He would be nice and full, but definitely undersized. This one goes without saying. There's a lot of crabs in there, just no legal ones. I'll measure it just in case. Yeah, it's short. It's just short. Yeah, come on, girl. There. Righto, just coming up on the second pot. The first pot was no good. There was quite a few undersized bucks in there and a big Jenny, big female. Coming into the second pot now. There is some angle on this rope, so you can see that current really did take it on the outgoing tide a fair bit. Hopefully it didn't roll too much, because that just mucks things up a bit. The electric motor is just fantastic for crab and solo. That way you don't have to worry about drifting into the trees or anchoring or tying off when you're processing the pots. Not overly heavy. Well, there's a bit more weight now. All Jennies and undersized bucks again. That one there, nah, I don't think so. I don't think any of those guys are legal. That's a big female. You can just see the big broad carapace and the small nippers. That's a buck there with the bigger nippers, but just probably undersized still. Spewing. Yeah, he's under 15 centimetres. They've got to be 15 centimetres in Queensland. Nah, well short of legal. I'm just going to tip them all out. I'm not even bother measuring. You can tell, you can generally tell by first glance if you've got a legal crab or not. And don't think so. Let's see if third time lucky. Nothing legal in the first 2 pots. Plenty of crabs, but undersized males and females. This is the pot I caught my good crab in last time. The exact spot, exact location. All right, let's anchor out here. Come on. Please be a crab in here. Oh, that's legal. That's legal. This one undersized is on the outside. This guy, I think he'll go. Not overly big, but he's definitely a legal crab. One in the same spot as last time. Just one so far in the same spot as last time. It's a very faithful little spot. That's good. This guy here. Just going to measure this guy. Right. And he's legal by about 5 mil, 15.5 centimetres. So he's coming home. Only one small nipper, one nice nipper. One real small one. I think I know which one Ruby's going to get. Guess what? It's not this one. Old mate over here for sure. Her North Queensland lollipops that she likes. See if we can make it 2. This guy, you just need to get off, mate. Come on. Pissing me off. Thank you. Thank you. Now get out. Get out of here. Ooh. There we go. Okay. Last pot. Moment of truth. I've never had the pot in this spot before, so I had to move it because yesterday there was that black rope in the spot where I threw my pot, so I moved mine. Let's see, it looks like it's going under the tree. It's going to be probably a little bit hectic getting it out, I'd say. Big flows in the river last night. But yeah, a little gully. We'll see what happens, eh? Oh, that one might go legal too. There might be a second legal crab. Two legal crabs, guys. I'm gonna go home, cook them up right now. Just the 2. You're a savage, mate. Okay, guys, we've got our 2 crabs in here, just about to cook them up. Oh, he wants to have a go. They both dropped 1 nipper because they've both been fighting. So a couple of their nippers are actually in the fridge. So they've now got 1 each, 1 claw each. And the other 2 are in the fridge, like I said. But they're a little bit savage. As I mentioned in a previous video, I've got the 3-ring burner hooked to a gas bottle, big pot, and some water from the creek. So it's best to cook them in water from the creek. So Mrs. doesn't like the stink of the crab cooking up inside and stinking the house out. Always do it outside with one of these guys here. These ring burners are awesome. Righto guys, just start the gas. Light this guy up here. Woo! That'll spread around the other rings. Change that heat if we need to. Now I'm going to tip the water into the pot and get the pot boiling. Always good to use creek water, nice and salty. They're only 2 crabs, so I don't have to fill it up all the way. Get this on the boil, And then once it boils, I'll get the crabs in there, so I'll put them asleep now in the freezer. When it reboils, I'll get the crabs in there. Always chuck a lid on your pot so it boils quicker, otherwise the heat escapes. So when you're waiting for your crabs like we are, we're really hungry and keen to hook into them, definitely boils quicker when you've got that lid on the top. Alright, I'm going to put these in the freezer. Come on, mate. Ruby's quietly freaking out right now holding that camera. These freak her out, these crabs. I'm going to stick them in the freezer. Come on. Where do you think you're going? Okay guys, crabs are in the pot. The crab is reboiling. The timer is now set for 17 minutes. That's how long I like to boil the crabs for after it gets on the reboil. I put them to sleep in the freezer. They came into this water, they were out of it, so they're in there. It's more humane. They're now boiling up. In 16 minutes and 40 seconds, they'll be done. Okay guys, 17 minutes is up. They are boiled. Turning the gas off and then getting these crabs out of this pot and under some cool water. Come here, mate. They've dropped a couple of nippers. They've dropped a couple of legs as well. That's one of the nips. Running the cool water over them now to stop them boiling in their own shell. Ideally you do this in the esky with some ice water or in the fridge. But this will just slow it down anyway, and in about 5 minutes I'll peel them, make a couple of sandwiches. Okay. There we go guys, 2 fresh crab sandwiches, jam-packed, chock-a-block full. This is how we do it. Cheers.